You know what I'm saying? Because it was something that I did, but I didn't do it by myself because the earth did it with me. You see what I'm saying? It was us. And I just felt this connection, man. And it hasn't stopped, and I still do. Like, when people laugh at me, man, I could be out, like where I work, like we put signs in the ground. And like when we dig a hole, like I gotta take this out of the machine, this piece of metal, and you hit the ground, and you gotta like spin it and like, pull dirt out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the thing's like a long.
Like, and you pull it out. I do that, and then when I do that, we gotta make it at least 30 inches. I get on my knees and I put my hand in the earth, and I'm thinking like, earth, let me get the rest of this hole. I don't say it out loud.
Yeah.
I say it to myself. And I'm like, man, what the hell are you doing? And I start hitting it, and it always sounds like a drum. Like, do you hear how hollow that is? Wonderful. I just try to leave it at that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, you crazy as shit. I know. That's fine. I take that crazy, man. You gotta thank her, man. It's us. Because it is. Just that ground. That's us.
Yeah.
That same thing. That thing. That's us. We're not sitting. You're not so far removed from it. You know what I'm saying? We like to think. Like we're so different. Us, and this, we've grown all of this, man.
Yeah.
And like, okay, your ancestors from Europe, your ancestors from Africa and Europe, my ancestors from Africa and America and Asia. To be quite honest, we want to take it back that far, but the bottom line is this is all the fucking same thing.
Sure.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just mountains on the earth.
We've given it fucking goddamn name, but it's the same fucking land. You see what I'm saying? It's the same land. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm part of this.
Yeah.
And I am. And it's not mine, like the whole Christian, the Judeo-Christian Islamic aspect of the world being mine to something that I subject. It's something I'm subject to.
Yeah.
We're part and parcel of each other. And, I have to love.
Yeah.
And you are, and we are, and that's us. And when I grab this dirt and it's my fingers and it's us.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's what we have to realize, that those simple things. We have to realize why Christmas is important.
Yeah.
Why Thanksgiving is a good thing.
Yeah.
Why Ramadan is a good thing.
Well, yeah,
you don't have to agree with the shit.
Exactly.
Why is it good? Why? What does it do to get the answers in the water?
It's in the water. Yes.
I swear, this girl, and she, like, we don't even talk anymore. If I called her right now, did I say that? Where I said the answer was 6 years ago. In the water, get out my face. I said it. And
the hard life of being a philosopher.
I don't mean, I'm telling you, no one loves you.
We love you,
until you
get among other philosophers.
Yeah, exactly.
I
mean, I can say that shit like confident. Like, okay. She listened the first few times when I was really coming up with it. But like even then, it's not me. I can't take credit.
It's just what you recognize.
Yep.
Well, Adamu, according to the Book of Enki, they named him that because he looked like them, but his skin was red like the earth. Right. And I think that just meant brown.
Yeah, so,
in the
that
in the Lost Book of Enki, because they were trying to make the cross between them and the humans. Because the miners were rebelling. They were like, we're going to kill the guy in charge. We come here because, according to this story, the days were really short on Earth versus on theirs. Like, there would be like 7 days and nights in one of their days. So they would come and they'd be like, okay, for us it would feel like, okay, sleep for 2 hours, wake up for 2 hours a whole day. Sleep for 2 hours, wake up for 2 hours. It was driving nuts. They couldn't do it. They were having to do this backbreaking labor getting the gold. They're about to rebel. And so all of the, Enki and Lil, their sister wife, I forget her name.
Minty is a nerd god Nin Hersag.
Yes, Nin
Hersag.
Yeah, okay, her. And so
she was the actual scientist that did the work.
Yeah, she was, and she started with Enki or Enlil. Which one started with her? I forget.
I think it's Enki.
Enki started. So Enki says, actually, in this lab that I have over in the wherever, it was just far away, like on another spot.
I remember the name of that too, but I can't say it.
Yeah, I don't. I'd have to look it up, which would be reasonably easy, but I'm kind of feeling lazy because there's going to be a lot of scrolling and searching. But he says, there are these creatures that walk upright and that are essentially like us. They just need a little tweaking we'll add a little of our DNA to them and we can make them intelligent enough to do it, and they're naturally from here, we should do that. There's this whole council meeting, and everyone's like, no, you cannot go to another planet and fuck with their evolution. You can't do it. It's against the creator. You can't do it. And then the other people, kind of the same argument in science today, saying, well, why would we be given this science if we weren't supposed to use it? And da-da-da-da-da. So they say, okay, do it.
I don't like carbonation.
So Enki takes Ninurta back with him to the labs, and he's like, okay, here, come look. And to me, in my mind, they described him. They had long hair. He said, like, all over their bodies. They went and they just played with the animals. He said, like, they just lived these joyful, kind of childlike lives. To me, I'm thinking Yeti. Like, I'm thinking Bigfoot type situation, because that's what they sounded like to me as he's describing him. And it also sounds like eventually in Kudu. And then eventually it seems like they would have gotten to, whatever. They just sped it up. So, according to this one story. So they're trying to use, this is what they did. They had these crystal dishes, which to me is a petri dish, right, more or less. They're made out of crystal. They would put in the egg of the Yeti woman, blast it with this laser that had the information of the Anunnaki. And now you hear of people like taking salamander eggs and blasting them with a laser that has information of something else, and there's something else. And so they kept doing that, but then letting the women of the Earthling women have the children, and it didn't work. And so first they're changing it. Finally, they decided, okay, wait, maybe it's the crystal container we're mixing things in. We got to do a clay one, something of this planet. And right there, it's, out of clay, made in clay.
Out of the minerals of the earth.
Mm-hmm. So they did it in the clay one. And then they had kids that were, like, almost perfect. These babies were born, like, they couldn't see or they couldn't hear. Something would be wrong with their lungs. They were never quite right. And so Enki and Ninurta are sitting there, and he's like, maybe it's because the child needs to be carried in an Anunnaki womb. And she's like, who am I going to go say, all right, which of these women who came with us am I going to say, okay, well, you can either carry maybe our hope or maybe a monster in your womb for however many months. Like, I'm not going to ask that anyone. He's like, okay, well, I think my wife would probably do it. And he's turning around, he goes to leave the room, and she's like, wait. In the very end, she's like, I can't ask someone else to do this. Yes, I can't. I'm saying her name. I don't think I can say it.
It's the woman with Ninurta.
Ninurta, yes.
Ninurta. Her husband, the scientist.
Yes.
Nargo.
Okay. And she has a baby, and it even talks about when they're born, and she says, this is not a beast. This is a being, and he was perfect, and they called him Adamu because his skin was red like the earth. Mm-hmm. And then the only difference between him and an Anunnaki was he had a foreskin. Fast forward to saying the mark of God is you cut off your foreskin. Well, if you've got an Anunnaki God who's saying, you want to be like me, the only difference between us, foreskin, cut off the foreskin, that's my mark upon you.
Do you know the earliest people to perform circumcision?
Did what?
Earliest people to perform circumcision.
They took...
Who were the people?
I do not know.
Not you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they got it from somebody else. It was those guys before.
You could read slave narratives about captains. They were talking about how the blacks would have circumcised. Would be circumcised. Where the hell did they get this from? Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Like,
why would what would possess you to do that?
Yeah, so it's just mark of a slave.
It was a right of man.
No, they got it somewhere.
The Menica, for instance, Medina, they have like a man training.
Oh yeah, because I was thinking if it was like across cultures and people did it like as like, okay, now you're owned or something, but
yeah, I think more so it was like
about the Jews,
root. Yeah, like the root. You know what I'm saying? This is just where it came from.
Yeah.
I think like the whole Hebrew thing, they get it from the Egyptians. You know what I'm saying? The Egyptians are African. Even though we like to think and all these other maybe they were really real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No.
Maybe a few of them were.
We had that. We're talking about 3,000 years.
Yeah. Not the same.
Well, and it's also, it's just like still we're imagining borders of people, but
it's all land masses.
That was all basically nation states.